In this video, we are going to address 5 reasons why EFT, the emotional freedom technique, is the absolute best tool to heal the fearful avoidant attachment style. I am Valine, and I am so happy you are here because I'm so incredibly passionate about this tool. I'm not affiliated in any way, but it has helped me heal 95% of my fearful avoidant attachment style. I've healed 95% with just this tool. And so it is incredibly powerful. It is incredibly versatile. And I just want you to know that it exists. It is not for everybody. About 90% of people really uh, use it and feel effects. Um, and about 10% usually don't. They benefit from EMDR mostly. So it's an interesting overlap. But in this video, I just wanted to dive into 5 reasons why EFT is the best tool for specifically healing the fearful avoidant attachment style, because there are more and more tools and modalities, which is amazing. It's amazing. And all of them have their pros and cons, right? All of them have their limitations and things that they're good at. I remember when I found this, which is now 15 years ago. First, when I came across it, I thought, this is so weird. What is this? Because it uses tapping on certain parts of your face and body. And the first time I saw that, I was like, no, this is too weird. I was at a pretty low point, but I thought, no, I dismissed it immediately. And then a year later, I found it again, and I was at an even lower point, and I thought, you know what, the heavens, I'll just try it. I have nothing to lose. And I used it on a headache back then, because what I could find was that it helped with physical symptoms. But when I experienced that headache, that very splitting headache that I had, was just gone after an hour, and I'd had it for days. I was like, this is pretty powerful. Maybe I can use it also on all the other things I'm struggling with. And slowly I started using it more and more, and I started realizing that I could actually release emotions and feelings with this tool. And that was such a mind-blowing thing, such a revelation, because up till then, I just had no way of processing emotions and feelings. I had never learned it. What I was trying to do was using emotional management, which is just suppressing and trying to fix and trying to feel this more and more intensely and longer, and not trying to feel this other thing. And that was just exhausting. And so having a tool to actually process and release these things and not have to do it with discipline and on willpower, that was just magic. And EFT still is magic to me because I still use it. I don't have to use it anymore to heal. It's not an absolute necessity. For a long time, it was my lifeline. I could probably even say that I probably wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for EFT, because I was just struggling so much, and I did not like life. I did not look forward to my future. I just had pretty much no hope, and EFT gave me that hope, because I thought, if this tool can do these things, then I just need to keep using it, and I will get to a place where I do like life and I do look forward to the future. And so for a long time, it was my absolute lifeline, and I would tap a lot and use it a lot. And now I don't have to anymore, but I still use it because it's just such a powerful tool to not only release trauma, but also get to grow and grow into who you want to become, and release anything holding you back from that. And it's still magical that there can be things that feel like such big issues. I feel so much resistance. I feel so much heaviness. And then I use EFT, I tap on it, and all of a sudden, that thing that used to feel so big and heavy and very important and serious, all of a sudden I have different thoughts around it. And I think, oh, but that's not that big of a deal. I can just do it like this. I have different options. I see different perspectives. I see different solutions. And it's just, it really just feels magical. Of course, it isn't magic. It's not a magic trick, but the fact that you can release something and it changing so much is just, it's amazing. And the reason why I love EFT also is now I help you with healing the fearful avoidant attachment style. And for this specific attachment style, EFT is just so fitting, because when it comes to this attachment style, there are certain things that you should want to take into account when healing. And I will address those because I just want you to have the best tools possible. So the first reason is that it is made to use and learn yourself, not just with a therapist. As opposed to, for instance, EMDR, you can do that yourself, but it's just not very much designed like that, which makes it a lot harder. EFT is designed to do yourself. And therefore you don't have to trust the therapist, like with exposure therapy is part of the deal. It's something you can do by yourself in any moment. So when you're triggered, whether it's 3 a.m. and you're in bed, or it's during the day somewhere, you're not dependent on your therapist. You're not dependent on somebody else. I'm all for therapy, don't get me wrong, but struggling with the fearful avoidant attachment style just means that you get triggered in any moment, not just when you're with your therapist. And this is made to do yourself. So I love the fact that you're not dependent on a therapy session. I also love the fact that you get to go as fast as you want to, because any healing journey is beautiful, right? You don't have to go at a certain pace. You don't have to go fast. But if you want to just dive in and feel hungry for improving faster, this tool can help you, because you can use it as much as you want, instead of you having to wait for a therapy session and a next therapy session and a next therapy session. So that is a very big reason why I love EFT, because it's there in the moment you get triggered and you can use it as much as you want to. The second reason is that it's such a versatile tool. You can use it to calm down in the moment, and you can use it to heal the deepest trauma. So when you look at like the layers of triggers, you can feel stress in the moment, you feel triggered in the moment, and you can use it to calm down in the moment, to calm your nervous system down, to kind of, get that urgency and sense of threat out and release it. But you can also heal the absolute deepest roots and deepest layers of the triggers with the emotional freedom technique. And when I look at other modalities, usually they are good at one of the layers, but not necessarily all of them. So it's just a very, very versatile tool that you can use in so many different ways. And then the third one is you are actively doing something. You are doing it yourself, which it keeps a sense of control. And you may or not be aware of this, but as a fearful avoidant, you want control, and that is completely fine. You just need a tool that kind of matches that fits that, and not work against it by trying to trust the therapist or surrender to the therapist. Again, I'm all for therapy, but it's what gets missed a lot in therapy is that for you, it might be hard to trust the therapist. And for some modalities, that trust relationship with the therapist is the basis for the therapy to be effective. And you need to surrender, like hypnotherapy, for instance, you kind of need to trust the therapist and surrender to the therapist. And it's really hard to do that, especially if the effectiveness of the therapy is dependent on it. So this kind of keeps that sense of control. You are actively tapping. Again, it looks weird, I know. And so you have the control. When you stop, it stops, right? So that keeping that sense of control can really help you in actually moving forward with healing. And then the fourth one, the fourth reason why EFT is the best tool, it is designed to calm down the amygdala, which is the kind of the warning center of your brain. And that is very important in a fear dominant brain. And that's what I mean by that is that the fearful avoidant attachment style isn't called fearful for nothing. There is just a lot of fear in your system. Your fear system is very on. Your fear brain is very active. And that means that you have a fear dominant brain, which means that your thoughts, your actions, your feelings are governed by fear. They're directed by fear. And when that is the case, you just kind of need a different kind of therapy, a different kind of modality that is focused on calming down that fear response, because it is so strong, it is so present, and it is so dominant. And EFT is designed for that. It makes use of meridians, which are correlated with calming down. And the explanation of this can sound a little bit woo-woo, but by now, in 2026, there are so many studies that show that this works, that EFT works, even if you don't believe in it, even if you are skeptic, it's completely fine, because they've done studies where people get monitored, their heart rate gets monitored, and you see that calm down. You see the heart rate going down. So all the stress signals go down when you tap. And it is designed to calm the system down and calm the amygdala down. And that brings me to the fifth point, because that is a very important part of it. But what the beautiful thing is about EFT is that it uses body-based processing. So that's releasing the emotions and the reflexes from your body, which is so important in the fearful avoidant attachment style, because it's the most physical and visceral attachment style out of all the four. Feelings are very intense and very overwhelming, and trauma is very much stuck in the body and causes reflexes. So body-based processing is very, very important, but it also uses psychology. And that is important because the fear brain is strong, and the fear brain is kind of the psychological system behind fear. And if you only use body-based processing tools, your fear brain is going to say, wait, whoa, where are we going? And is that safe? But EFT uses emotional releasing with psychology. And there are, not that I know of, any other modalities that do that in this way. And that makes it so powerful. What that also does is that you can use it for things like resistance to healing and relapses in healing. And that is also such an important part of the healing journey, to be able to have a way to deal with those inevitable moments of resistance that come up. Healing is very much also a psychological process. The healing journey in and of itself, it's not just black and white, we heal trauma, we're healed. It's also, it really is a journey. You've probably already experienced that and realized that. And that really, EFT can just really help you also with that part of it. There are things like you can rage tap when you're just so angry with all of it. You're angry with that it takes so long. You're angry with that it's just hard. You can rage tap, and that helps so much. There's holistic I love this. I love this tool, as you can see. There's just so many things that can help you in that journey. And then the sixth one, I said 5 reasons, but I wrote down 6 because there's so many, is that you can tap in what you do want. So there are a lot of modalities that will help you kind of release the trauma, clean the home, if you will, kind of clean the rubbish out. But there are not a lot of modalities that can do that and help you also. This is starting to sound like almost a commercial, right? That can also help you tap in what you do want. So, for instance, what kind of example can we give? Money is just always a very quantifiable example, right? So just imagine you want to earn a higher salary. You can tap in earning a higher salary, and the interesting thing that will happen is that you will feel the resistance that you have to that. Maybe the higher salary isn't the best, because that feels like it's dependent on somebody else. But just, okay, so imagine just, I want to be happy, for instance. You can release a lot of trauma, but if you don't make being happy and feeling happy feel safe, it will be very hard to feel happy and be happy. And so that is what EFT can do. It can help you tap in what you do want by just releasing any of the resistance that you have towards that specific thing. And what I see so much is that when you heal trauma, you just keep digging and digging for more trauma, and you kind of like clear a whole area of 3 football fields wide, where you may only need just one path towards what you want. Is that an analogy that kind of works? I don't know. But that's just kind of how I see it. When you heal so much trauma to get to a certain point, but you don't need those 3 football fields. You just need like a path that is a few feet wide to get to where you want. You don't need to heal all the trauma. And so EFT can also really help you grow, even when you've healed. Like, I see myself now as I've healed to the point where I don't feel like I need to heal anymore. I'm dominantly securely attached after a lot of work and a lot of healing. And I still use it because it's such a good tool for growth also. And I just want to experience what else we can experience in life. So yeah, it's just, this tool has my heart. There have been times that I've thought, does it really work? Wouldn't I just feel like this if I didn't do anything, just by, becoming older and wiser or whatever? And then I wouldn't use it for a while, and I would miss it. I would go back to it and realize, oh yeah, no shit, this really does work really well. So I've come back to it again and again. I've not used it for months, maybe even a year at some point. And I've always come back to it, and I've always found different ways to use it, and I've always been amazed by the magical feeling of actually releasing something. So again, I'm not affiliated in any way. I'm just so incredibly thankful and grateful that I found this tool, and that it has helped so many others too, and that it just fits the Fearful Avoidant Attachment Style so well. So EFT is what I use in healing, in my online program, Healed and Happy. I just want you to know that that's there. If you're interested in EFT, if you've tried EFT, I have multiple videos that I show what EFT looks like, and you can do it with me. And if you're interested in that and you feel the shift during one of those taps, it can really help you in your healing journey. And if you're wanting to have help with that, Healed and Happy is there. And it's very much based on EFT. It's not the only thing that is used. I always try to use multiple different layered ways of healing. But EFT definitely is an important part of it because of all these reasons. Don't feel like you have to do Healed and Happy. Of course, it's just there when you want it and when you really want to use this and experience the magic of it in healing the Fearful Avoidant Attachment Style. As always, I am so happy you were here, and I will see you in the next one.